Welcome back, everybody. Just wanted to do a quick video on basic tools used for maintenance on firearms. And then there's going to be one particular tool that I constantly see and take down videos on firearms that the improper tool is used at the improper time, and we'll cover that in a minute. Most of you, to start with, probably if you're basic maintenance on a firearm, is the cleaning setup. You can just go buy a simple cleaning jag setup like this. It'll cover virtually, this one will cover everything from 17 up to 50 caliber. As you can see, there's 50 caliber, 17 back here, and also has a couple of bore guides on it. That with the addition of the brushes that you can buy in these simple kits, that'll cover virtually everything. I have some specialty brushes that'll cover everything else. Of course, shotguns, you'll have to have the appropriate brushes and mops and cleaning jags for shotguns too. But that's just very basic maintenance, of course, on a firearm, the cleaning of it. Let me just get up here too also. Cleaning rods, I have half a dozen or so different lengths and styles of cleaning rods. And then of course you'll see this shaving brush here. It's an oil saturated brush. I keep it stored, bristles down, so the oil will always be on the tips of the brushes. This is fantastic for just brushing a light coat of oil over your gun parts. And even before you putting it away for long-term storage, if you want a light coat of oil over it, just run over it with a brush, and makes life a lot easier. A nice thin coat, just for long-term storage, or even just for maintenance when you want to oil internal parts or something on a firearm. But those are the basic parts there. That, of course, most people will have cleaning jags, brushes, and rods. And some firearms even come with their own brushes. I think Glock might be one of the ones that sells this type of or provides this with their firearms. Not a big fan of these. The metal steel rod is kind of tough on bores. I prefer either fiberglass like you saw on that Dewey rod, or they make aluminum and brass ones, or coated steel that won't harm your bore as bad. And then of course use a bore guide. Just slips over your rod and goes into your muzzle end if you have to clean from the muzzle end, such as on there are certain firearms that require that. And then of course your favorite oil. I have an oil bottle of CLP up there. And then of course for black powder guns, I always keep a tube of ballistol handy, and a tube of moose milk. That's what I've always learned to call it. It's a 50-50 mix of ballistol and water. That's what makes ballistol great for black powder. It won't gum up when you shoot it, and it won't and it is water soluble, so excellent for cleaning, and then also for oiling and preserving your black powder firearms. The next most, and probably the most important tool after and now one more thing on cleaning, make sure you have a good gun vise too, such as well, Tipton makes a good one. Get a decent one. They're not that expensive, and if you're cleaning long guns, it's sure a lot handier than having to hold it in your lap or lay it on your bed or on your kitchen table. Much more convenient. But the next, and like I say, most important, is screwdrivers. And you can see I have a pretty extensive screwdriver set, and they don't cost that much to get a good set. Now this one is a little more complete than some of them out there. Some of them professional sets are this complete. Now you notice I have holding these blocks. I make these to hold most of my tools. But they come with their own cases and tool holders similar to this, but I wanted to expand on it. You absolutely need to have hollow ground screwdrivers. Let me pull a larger one out here so you can see what I mean by hollow ground. That's hollow ground. I just happen to have another screwdriver. This is the type you might use on your Honda or your Chevy sitting out in the garage, perhaps to do maintenance and repair the fence. As you can see, it's just a wedge, whereas your hollow ground is quite a bit squarer on the end of it, and that's necessary for a good fit into a screw. I actually have a screw here, and I don't know if this is kind of a small screw. It's just what I had laying on my bench for a project, a Felster screw. But you can see it has a very nice square slot, and oftentimes firearms will have a very thin slot too, such as the Browning Auto 5. If you work on a Browning Auto 5 and you take the screws out on that, you need a very wide and a very thin screwdriver, and if it's not the appropriate type, such as this one, you're going to do some damage to the screw. And there's nothing worse and nothing uglier on a firearm than a damaged screw. I just happen to think about this size. I usually match the width, the screwdriver up to the width of the screw, and then also to the width of the slot, so you don't have play in it either way. That gives you full contact on the screw as you're turning it. If you have just a wedge screwdriver in there, or too small of a screwdriver, it's just going to contact it on 2 points, and it'll end up either twisting out and falling out, or just the simple matter of turning the screw can actually mushroom these corners out. You see that so often on firearms, and it's so awful and ugly and really ruins the look of them. And also, you can't get proper torque without one of these, without damaging the screw. So get a good set of screwdrivers. This is a set. I think this was started out as a Weaver set, actually, and I keep them in order. It has a few specialty screwdrivers. Had tips in it. These are magnet tips. I keep two different drivers on hand, so I don't have to change my screwdriver tips if I need multiple tips. It makes it a little easier. Basic set of flat blades, just a few long reach and regular Phillips, a full set of Allen wrench types, and your 6-point star bits, and some specialty scope bits for adjusting scopes. Not absolutely necessary, but a good basic flat blade set is absolutely necessary for firearm work. So definitely do that. I see so many videos out there, as I say, of dismantling firearms with the improper screwdriver, and it makes you cringe. The second most important thing you can have is a good hammer and punch set. You can see this is the biggest hammer I usually ever use on a firearm. It's just a simple plastic and brass tipped, so it won't do any marring. It's got some weight to it. It's nice for most any project on a firearm. It's a nice little hammer like that. That's about all I ever use. If I need a bigger hammer than that, I've probably got a problem. You might take a few more taps with that to get something out, and if I need to drive something out harder than that, I probably should be using a press vise or something like that. That's a little more advanced tool, not recommended for just daily maintenance. A good set of punches is almost necessary to take down firearms, particularly say you're cleaning a military surplus firearm, and a good set of punches will help you that in the long, get you down the road a long ways. Brass punches keep you from marring, and even plastic punches. And then of course there's a roll pin punch in here, but I have a full set of roll pin punches too. a lot of your more modern firearms, these make life a lot easier, keep you from damaging those roll pin punches. They have a little, we'll grab a larger one here, they have a little machined in on them that helps you guide you on that roll pin punch and keep you from marring it, and helps you start them and get them drove in much easier. And to drive those pins out and whatnot, an armorer's block like this is very handy. Of course, it has many different slots and holes, and there's very rare instance that you can't find a way to use this to drive a pin out or to hold the firearm or to assist you. It's like a third hand. They're fantastic. Especially 1911s, there's a lot of grooves and notches. This square notch is actually designed to hold a 1911 slide, but various other operations can be formed. You just use your imagination on that. It keeps from marring things. It's made out of a nylon, very high quality nylon. And of course, there are many other specialty tools you can buy. Sometimes you just have to make a tool. This is for using taking down an Enfield bolt. You need to reach down in and screw out a specialty nut that's down in them. So I built this rather than buy one. Sometimes it's a lot cheaper to go to the hardware store and sacrifice a socket or something, or sometimes a cheap screwdriver will turn into a good specialty tool. Very simple to do. You can see I have a variety of sizes of those for different applications, such as cross bolts on firearms. Now up above here you'll see hiding out, I have flashlights and a bore light, and then some picks. Don't recommend those too highly. I use them in specialty cases, maybe to pull a patch out that got lost or something like that. But they will scratch your gun. They're hardened stainless steel and very sharp. They'll mar your finishes. Stay away from them if you can. In fact, I prefer, if I'm cleaning Cosmoline or something out of, I need to get in a corner, get yourself some of these bamboo skewers. They're nice and hard, very sharp, good, excellent for cleaning. They'll last you a long time. Or some hardwood dowels. Make your own. My furnace kicked on. I hope that doesn't bother us too much. Fantastic for again, cleaning, gentle punches, and various other operations. Use your imagination. And in the screwdriver end of things, also, if you're going to mount scopes, go one step further and get a torque wrench. These are fairly inexpensive, and they come with a minor set of bits in them that also will accept my regular quarter-inch shank magnetip bits. Very necessary for getting scope rings and bases to the correct torque. Usually torques can almost always can be found by the manufacturer specifications. Sometimes you have to dig a little bit, but very important to have an inch-pound torque wrench or screwdriver wrench for proper installation many times, particularly in scope work. A little dust on it, but I highly recommend that for your collection of tools as well. So there's a pretty good basic set of tools if you're going to be taking a lot of firearms apart. Sorry this ran a little bit long, but I wanted to go over those screwdrivers thoroughly. Make sure you get hollow ground screwdrivers, either as complete screwdrivers, such as these. You can buy sets such as these, But once you bend one of these because you had a tight screw, and they are designed to bend or break before your screw is damaged, it's a good thing. That's why I prefer the magnet tips. They can be easily replaced if you break one for, $2 or $3. So there we are. That's the basic tools I use. I have boxes after box of specialty tools, but not everyone needs an M1 Garand gas wrench. But so I'm not going to show all those specialty tools. But at the very least, get yourself a good screwdriver set, nice little hammer, and a good punch set on top of your cleaning equipment, and you're good to go for almost any maintenance and general takedown of firearms of almost any type. So, sorry this ran so long, but as always, thanks for watching.